Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. We're going to start off with the Citizens Forum. It is October 6th, 2020, and it is 6:45 p.m. We do have one person signed up to speak. So once you are called, please come up to the front. You will have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record, and you can address the board. First up is Marquita Nesmith.
Good evening. My name is Marquita Nesmith. I live at 2816 General Maney Court. Would you guys just like for me to ask all my questions right off?
Well, you can ask your questions.
And then just wait for them to be answered.
Well, this is a forum for you to speak to us, and anyone can get with you afterwards.
Absolutely. All right, our first question is, who's responsible for cleaning the ditch that's on near Shreedman? Who's responsible for clearing the drainage? Is there a plan to fix the ones on General Maney and Madison Square in that subdivision? We also want to know, why did the ditch flood in the first place? Will the area be considered a flood zone in the near future? And is the amendment F, Amendment 1, is this a part of the flooding problem in the area, and where do you plan to start if it's approved? Those were the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Having nobody else for the Citizens Forum, I will go ahead and close that out, and we will begin again at 7 o'clock. Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. It is October 6, 2020 at 7 p.m. I call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. The prayer will be by myself and the Pledge of Allegiance will be by Vice Mayor Brown. If everyone would please stand for the prayer and the pledge. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we just ask that you would watch over us all throughout Laverne, throughout Rutherford County, state of Tennessee, and our nation. We ask that your hand be upon us and direct us in your ways. We thank you, Lord, for the gift of your Son who died on the cross. We ask you to just bless our people. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to presentations, we have a certificate of recognition first and then a proclamation. Step down here. So each month we want to recognize exceptional employees and recognize different things that they've done to help the city, help our residents, and make this place better for everybody. And so tonight's person has been with the city for a long time. They have gone steps above and beyond what they need to do. And they have sat there and taken some courses recently to further themselves, make it so that not only can they do their job more effectively, but they can be a better resource for everybody. And it was a long process. It wasn't one where it was one class, two classes, or even a month or a week. So, Tom Barker, can you come up here for a minute, please? I know you're shaking your head. This isn't quite the Industrial Development Board discussion we talked about, but This is a certificate of recognition granted to Thomas Broker for your completion of the Tennessee Certified Economic Developer Program. Your dedication to this growing city and to exploring all of its economic opportunities is greatly appreciated. And Tom, you're one of just a handful in the state that has this. And can you talk a little bit about what that program was?
Sure. It basically goes through every facet of economic development, whether it be retail, industrial, business retention, workforce development. It's only 70 as of right now that have completed it. So I'm very proud to be a part of the first 70, and I'm even prouder to have Julie already started hers and heading towards it. So it'll be great to have Laverne have two of us here very soon.
Yes. So, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate everything you do. You're good. Next up, I want to invite up Representative Michael Sparks and Representative Charlie Baum. Gentlemen, come around on this side. Yes.
Mayor, it's an honor to be here before the Board of Aldermen, Laverne, and the citizenry. I think everyone's probably looking for good news. You know, there's been a lot of rough news. It's been a rough year. 2020 has been pretty rough for many of us. Many of our families with sickness and maybe job furloughs and layoffs. And when Representative Baum and I see good news out there, we want to share it with others. So we're proud to present a proclamation from the state of Tennessee recognizing Laverne as one of the freest cities in the state of Tennessee. We think of freedom, we kind of take it for granted many times. You know, if you think about the word freedom, a lot of countries don't have the freedom that we have here. And I've seen Laverne change over the years. I've seen Rutherford County change over the years with the growth, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not so great. But I'm going to read this if I can, Mayor. Whereas we're pleased to recognize a city whose government is taking great strides to make it a welcoming place for residents and businesses alike. And whereas the city of Laverne was recently recognized as the freest city in the state in a study conducted by the Beacon Center of Tennessee, this distinctive recognition is a testament to the city's emphasis on sound policy and budgeting decisions that continue to build upon its existing economic opportunities. As whereas the city of Laverne enjoys the sterling leadership and guidance of Mayor Jason Cole, Vice Mayor Melissa Brown, Alderman Graham Coates, Alderman Calvin Jones, and Alderman Steve Noe. Whereas the Beacon Center of Tennessee ranked the state's 30 most populous cities based on 25 metrics in 4 categories. Number 1, free enterprise. Number 2, private property. Number 3, individual liberty, and the cost of government. And whereas the city of Laverne ranked first in free enterprise, third in cost of government, and 11th in private property and individual liberty, the city has strong fiscal management with low debt, defined contribution pensions, and low property taxes. While focused on core services and not competing with the private sector, the city of Laverne focuses on what governments should provide and do so in a cost-effective manner. Whereas the city's low taxes, low fees, building permits for businesses and home construction make Laverne the best and freest place to start a business and put down roots. Whereas Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen and the Beacon Center of Tennessee have rendered sterling service to the citizens of Tennessee, and they are worthy of our approbation. Now, therefore, I, Cameron Sexton, the Speaker of the House, on the 111th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, at the request and conjunction of Representative Charlie Baum, Representative Mike Sparks, do hereby proclaim that we honor and commend the Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen and the Beacon Center of Tennessee upon Laverne's recognition as the freest city in the state, and we extend our best wishes to the city's continued success. Congratulations, Mayor.
To approve the minutes.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to
speak, please.
Sure, sure.
First, I'd like to ask if we could suspend the rule temporarily, since we got Representative Sparks here, so he could come up, and we weren't able to discuss with him last meeting what was on the agenda as far as our driver's license, and I wanted to ask him a little bit about MARTA, if that's okay.
Sure, sure. I will, we have a motion to suspend the rules. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Representative Sparks.
Thank you.
Mayor, is this your book?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like, if I could have Representative Baum tag along with me if I could. One thing I want to thank Representative Baum is the driver's testing stations. The biggest complaint we get in the state of Tennessee, in our community, is with driver's testing stations. I know, look at Steve No's face. He's angry right now. Just look at him. He's mad about driver's testing. So is everyone else. Representative Baum wrote a letter was it this year, and they gave us an extra 80 members, if not 80 positions across the state. And I know the mayor and the Board of Aldermen, I know all of y'all have been asking for that kiosk. Michael Hogan, the director, was going to be here tonight. I think he's on the agenda for next month, I believe. And one thing I know people are frustrated. I get frustrated with it. Charlie gets frustrated with it. Michael Hogan, the director, is from our community. He lives in Murfreesboro, and Chief Walker hired him, brought him over to that position. So he comes with a good accreditation. So I know he's got our community's best interest at heart. But he's promised me, and I hope it's okay for the mayor, me to share this with the mayor and y'all, that y'all will have that kiosk in 60 to 90 days. Is that what he's told you, Mayor?
And that's what we talked about, that he would have a definitive timeframe for next month's meeting. Yes.
Yes, and I know it's been a long time coming, but if I could, Mayor, if I can get Representative Baum or Dr. Baum to mention the staffing.
I'm just going to reiterate what Representative Sparks mentioned. When the General Assembly had our special session earlier this year, one of the measures we took was to provide funding for 8 additional staff members across the state for DMVs. We hope this begins to help relieve the problem. We know it's still not enough, so we're looking for additional solutions. But the state felt like at that time that the centers, the physical buildings, had the capacity to provide locations for 80 additional members, and so that was an immediate step that we've taken, and we're going to continue to look for other ways to relieve pressure, like offering these at kiosks.
Mayor, if I could, one thing on the freest city, if I could, I want to thank Tom Broker, Bruce Richardson, and the staff of the city of Laverne. A lot of times the staff don't get recognized for y'all's hard work, and it's hard to put everybody in those proclamations like that. But I've always said, and Tom kids me about it, Laverne's an economic powerhouse. I don't know if the citizens really realize the power that Interchange City has. Icy moved here, left California, due to all being the unfreest state in the union would be California. So they're leaving the unfreest state to move to the freest city in the state of Tennessee. So I commend y'all. And like I say, they're telling me that kiosk's going to happen in 60 to 90 days. And I believe Michael, Director Hogan's going to give y'all a presentation next month.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
I'd just like to add my congratulations to you all for being named the freest city in the state of Tennessee. That has a lot to do with protecting private property rights, free enterprise, controlling the cost of government. Many of you all know that I teach economics at MTSU. We teach the importance of some of these principles, but I admire you all for putting them into practice so that they'll have an immediate impact in the lives of your citizens and in the future of your community as employers are attracted to this area, new jobs, more employment opportunities are provided, and so I admire you for being able to put this into practice. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you both. With that,
Do I need to move to reestablish the rules?
yes, with that, we will reestablish regular rules of order. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the September 1st, 2020 regular meeting.
Make a motion to accept as submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted. Need a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Moving on to departmental reports. Fire Department, Chief Beasley.
It's all about the timing, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Y'all do have a copy of the report in front of you. Outstanding. Do y'all have any questions about that before? The one thing I would like to point out, as you'll see, as the Mayor has noted before, we've had decreased times in our response times. This month, we had an increase. That's all directly related to the significant rainfall we had on the weekend. So that delayed our response times overall for that one day, which overall bled into our average. So other than that, I think everything's on track.
Any questions? Thank you, Chief. Codes Department, Mr. Randolph Salyers.
Evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman. The monthly report for September 2020, we issued 40 single-family dwelling permits. Valuation was $4.78 million. We did 5 commercial permits for the month, $13.6 million. The single-family dwelling plumbing permits were 45 for residential, 5 for commercial. Mechanical permits, there were 41 for single-family and 5 for commercial. Our total monthly revenue was $78,810. The summary of the building permits was roughly $18 million investment into this community, so we stayed quite busy with all that, to say the least. Our code complaints, there were 19 tall grass, 12 junk cars in the yard, and 10 others. Of course, that number may be a bit skewed. We are trying to fine tune our intergov reporting, and that is, as I say, is a continual effort. Now, I will say that tall grass complaints will be dwindling off pretty soon, but that gives them opportunity to focus in other areas of concern throughout the city. Our impact fees, monthly revenue with impact fees were $167,555. The year-to-date total was $557,688.58. The total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date have been 176. Total number of single-family permits issued during the same time last year was 119. Our total number of permits year-to-date have been 427. Any questions?
Randolph, how many lots do we still have open? I know it's very quickly
I took a
shrinking.
drive through town the other day, and quite honestly, they're beginning to be fewer and fewer all the time. I mean, we're still issuing permits today, but as Bo and Adam have talked about this issue earlier, that there's a lot. I know that most of you know that are on the planning commission that there are lots, that developments that are being looked at right now, but I mean, there's 2 or 3 developments that I suspect will be wanting permits sometime after the first year, perhaps, or sooner. But we are getting down to, I mean, like I said, if you drive through some of the developments, like Cottages of Lake Forest, for example, the lots there are, the building opportunity there is beginning to become very, very scarce. Brookside 3, there's some lots there still. Of course, then across the street at the new development there, that there'll be some lots in there, some development going on over off Cherokee. So there's opportunities here still for permits, but it's dwindling, trying to put me out of work.
Is most of that on this side of the interstate?
Cottage Lake Forest is, obviously. Cherokee is on
Right,
this
but
side.
I'm just talking about in general, just,
It's across town. I mean, it's all over town, as far as that's concerned. I mean, the development areas, Brookside, Carruthers Crossing, that's on the other side of the interstate. Of course, we all know what's being kicked around again at, corner of Blair and Walden. That's always, I guess, gonna be a possibility. It's been a number of attempts made at it, but, someday, one of these days, somebody will get it right.
Any other questions? Thank you, Randolph.
Thank you.
Parks and Recreation Department, Mr. David McGowan. Busy month for you, sir.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board, thank you. You've got the parks numbers for this past month. 41 help desk tickets, 182 man hours. You can see a couple of our projects there. Past event was September 11th, movie in the park. It was held on the football field. Pretty decent turnout. And like you said, our next month is going to be very busy. We will probably, by the time we meet again, I think our whole department is probably going to need a vacation. October 17th is Old Timers Day. October 23rd is Zombie Night at the Park. October 24th is Goblins and Goodies. And then November the 11th is Wednesday, it's Veterans Day. Old Timers Day, we're going to kick that off Friday night, the 16th at 7 p.m. with a concert on our football field, followed by the parade that next morning at 10 a.m. All-day festivities, we're praying for good weather. We have 2 musical stages lined up, plenty of vendors, plenty of civic tents, so we're anticipating a good turnout. October 23rd, Zombie Night at the Park. That's kind of a new event for us. It's going to be like a zombie dance-off. Starts at 7, followed by a movie at 8 o'clock on the football field. Night of the Living Dead is going to be the movie. In each of these events, we encourage social distancing. We will have our hand sanitizer set out. We'll do our best to sanitize the bathrooms. Social distancing is available in the wide open spaces, so we do encourage everybody to come out and have a good time. October 24th, Goblins and Goodies, same deal. We're going to utilize the whole trail this year. Instead of kind of confining it around the playground, we're going to take the opportunity to spread out, give people a little more comfortable atmosphere. You see some of our upcoming meetings, October 15th, Senior Center Advisory, October 19th, Parks and Rec, and October 19th, Greenway Advisory. And without looking up, I know Alderman Noe is staring a hole in me, so tomorrow is one of our bigger events. Senior Center is going to reopen from 10 to 2 tomorrow, Thursday from 10 to 2, and then back to a full schedule starting next Monday. Any questions?
I think it's good that you're using the entire walkway up there because as far as I know, nobody else is doing anything around us, the other cities. So I gotta,
We've had pretty good response. There were some other events that were scheduled for our weekend that ended up canceling about a month ago.
that's what I mean,
So we're
so
pulling some of those vendors in.
I
We're
got a
pulling
feeling
some of
it's
their
gonna
other stuff
be,
also.
yeah, I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot of kiddos.
We hope so. We'd like to see it. And like I said, we're going to stress the importance of social distancing. We would love for you guys in the community to come out. You have to take responsibility for your own safety. We're going to do everything we can on our part with the social distancing, spread out, hand sanitizer. So we're going to try to cover things on our end. We just want everybody to feel safe and comfortable. Any other questions?
Thank you.
One other thing, Grand Marshal, Dr. Theowana Hatchett here, Laverne High School principal. Graduated Laverne High School, was named principal this past year. So she graciously accepted our invitation, so we're definitely looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Finance Department, Ms. Phyllis Rogers.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Tonight's financial reports for the first 2 months of our fiscal year. All of our funds are staying healthy and strong. Our sales tax, we've already collected about $500,000 more than what we budgeted and about $300,000 more than what we did this time last year for the first 2 months. Like I said, all of our other funds are doing great. A couple things I want to mention is we initiated or implemented a new property tax online payment system yesterday. Citizens now have the capability of actually looking up their property tax looking up their history, looking up their payment history. This has been a real strong request from a lot of mortgage companies, real estate companies that are trying to close mortgages because they need to know if the taxes have been paid when they go to close. So we now have that lookup capability, seem to be working great, thanks to Glenn and our governmental software. Finance Department working alongside the auditors to get all of our schedules ready for our financial report that'll be coming out probably around December. And we've also been busy working on the CARES grant and the governor's grant. So we've got a lot of submissions into the state, just kind of waiting for some responses, and everything seems to be going good. Everything we've gotten back so far has been real positive on those grants. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, Phyllis. Water or library, that is. It's Donna Bebout.
I need just one moment, please.
Oh, what's she coming up with?
Right. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor Aldermen. It's good to see you all. This is the report for September 2020. As you can see, there are numbers for 17 days. I'm going to go away from my English for just a moment. They ain't what they used to be, but they sure ain't what they're going to be. So we are working hard to get our numbers back up, to get the people back into the library. We appreciate all the patrons who have supported us during the pandemic and continue to check out, continue to download e-audios and e-books. And it's so good to see people actually coming into the library. Okay, so to go on in, one way that we're getting people to come into the library and to get things checked out is through our holiday reading program. There are quite a few holidays in the next few months, so our staff decided to celebrate them all by having a holiday reading program. As you can see, we are incorporating around the fall season and Halloween. We have the turkey for Thanksgiving, and we have the snowman for our winter months. And participation is super easy. All you have to do is come into the library, check out items, you get prize entries, you fill out your prize entry, you place it in the entry box, and then you cross your fingers that your name will be drawn on either October 30th, November 20th, or December 18th. And there will be 6 winners each month. So it's very exciting. Mayor Cole, we saw your wife the other night checking out. We were so excited to see her. So please come by the library and check out those items. The next really fun thing that we're doing is finally a program. We are not being able to have programs because of the social distancing and things of this sort, but we have teamed up with the Laverne Fire Rescue Department and Fire Marshal Curtis Brinkley will come to our library on Saturday, December the 10th at 2 p.m., and he's going to be reading the story of Sparky the Fire Dog. Now, every child in attendance will receive a copy of the book to take home. Our first plan was for this to be, I'm sorry, did I say something wrong?
December or October?
Did I say December? I'm just moving right along, aren't I? Let's try Saturday, October 10th. Is that better? Thank you. Always wave at me. It's been a long day. Saturday, let's start again. The story of Sparky the Fire Dog, read by Fire Marshal Curtis Brinkley, will be Saturday, October 10th at 2 p.m. It's supposed to be an outdoor event. If any of you have seen the weather, there's a possibility of 90% chance of rain. So we do have an indoor plan that includes social distancing, and so we want you to come on. Just bring those kids and come on out. Each child in attendance will receive a copy of the book to take home, and we appreciate Laverne Fire and Rescue doing this. We're excited to be a part of this great joining up together. All right, the next thing that's happening. Cruising Through the Ages, Old Timers Festival. Well, the library is very excited. We are going to be there with the Kids Zone. We're going to be cruising through the ages with Grease. So you're going to have your pink ladies. You're going to have your T-birds. We're going to be having our poodle skirts and our rolled up jeans, and we're going to be having a really, really good time over at the Kids Zone. We're so excited. Parks and Recreation gave us a great big area to spread out. We have cars for the children to get in and go around an obstacle course. We even made a police car that can make sure they're staying in the obstacle course. So we're very excited. Lots of carnival games to win prizes. So please come out to Cruising Through the Ages. Make sure you come by and see the pink ladies and the T-birds. And we have lots of fun games and activities. And that also is in October, not December. Any questions?
Great job as always.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I do have one question. How
Yes,
is
sir.
how is the mobile checking out going on with people doing curbside?
Still doing great. We have a lot of people who have continued to want to do curbside. And we have just embraced it and kept on going. So, of course, it has slowed down since some are coming in. But people are still calling in. We're still taking books and DVDs and music CDs out to them. And so it's going really well.
Good. Good.
And Ms. Donna, what
Yes.
time does the Cruising Through the Ages begin?
It begins at 10 a.m. and it goes through 3:30. And of course, I'm sure a lot of us pink ladies will be staying for the 7 o'clock concert that night with Resurrection, who is a tribute band of Journey. So that's very exciting. So I'm sure we'll be up there dancing away, especially now that I have new knees.
Thank you, Ms. Donna.
You're welcome.
Now on to the water treatment plant. Mr. Greg Purcell. Let's see you follow that one up.
I can't follow this. You always kill it, Donna. Make it tough on me. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board. In the month of September, we treated 127.3 million gallons of water. We delivered 103.7 million gallons to the citizens of Laverne. We did wrap up the lead and copper sampling at the beginning of September, excuse me. Those reports have been sent out to the citizens that participated. Our TOC removal for September was 52%. On a maintenance item, the maintenance cap is at 65% used so far, and that ends at the end of July 2021. The contractors are on site for the filter rehabilitation project. Some of the work is already started. Some of it will be started in the next couple weeks. Cross connection, we're currently meeting our target goals. We have just staffing update. We now have 8 employees. 2 of them are getting ready to be on their own, getting finished up with training. We are seeking a utility tech position. And in September, we had 2 customer complaints. And if anybody has any questions about their water quality or wants us to come check it out, they can always call the plant at 615-793-6536, option 2. Any questions?
Any questions from anybody? Thank you,
All right,
Greg.
thank you.
Public Works Department. Mr. Garland?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. This will be for the month of September. You see our numbers here on the brush pickups. We're kind of catching up on that. Fixing to put one of the trucks in the shop to be fully gone over, I guess. It's the one we bought in 2011. So it's due some good maintenance. Grass is about to go away, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. In the shop, we've had 40 vehicle repairs, 35 in-house and 5 outsourced. 26 preventive maintenance. Equipment repairs is 8. Had 9 work orders for the fire department with a total of 17 hours. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Utility Department, Mr. Michael Dietz.
Mayor Alderman, good afternoon. You have the monthly report there in your packet for your review. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I want to give a quick update. Cedar Park Circle Water Line Project, most of you are aware of that project that we're going to be taking on in-house. The plans have been completed by Griggs and Maloney. They're currently under review by city staff. After we get done reviewing those, hopefully by the end of this week, first of next, we'll be submitting to TDEC for approval. After we receive approval, we will then be able to start ordering the materials to complete the project. Originally, we was hoping to have this started by the end of the year. However, thinking forward with holidays coming up, planned vacations and things of that such, it may be better to push it to the 1st of 2021. So just a quick update there. Also, I'd like to let the residents of Forest Lane and Hampton Drive know that tomorrow we will be out replacing service lines in their area. Over the last year, we've had some trouble over there, and we've made the decision just to go in and replace all of them at this time. It's a small area. Spoke with Mr. Garland. Maybe something that they go back next year and put on the list to pave as well. So, and again, as mentioned, as the fire chief had mentioned, we did have some significant rainfall this month. I have to recognize the sewer department. Years past, we've had overflows at some of our pump stations, and they manned those stations accordingly and took care of the situation at hand.
Michael, I know we've had this discussion whenever the last round of flooding happened, but talk to me about whenever people see sewer covers that are submerged, that are bubbling, what that means.
Yes, sir. That's
what they need to do.
They need to contact the sewer department immediately. If it's on call after hours, contact Public Works 793-9891. Follow the prompts. We'll send somebody out on call. We'll come out typically during this past rain event that was I&I into the system. Statewide, countrywide. Once we get rain events like that, sewer systems get full. We're month to month proactively trying to look for I&I and rehab the system as needed. However, if we get a specific location, we can go out and focus on that area. So please notify us anytime you see that so we can get out and investigate it.
Okay. Any other questions?
You said tomorrow you'll be working where at?
Forest Lane and Hampton Drive, yes, sir, off of Centennial.
Okay. Is that something you put on the city Facebook thing? Just give everybody kind of a heads up? All right.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I asked the water supervisor to hand out notices to those residents as well.
Good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, sir.
Human Resources, Cheryl Lewis-Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. Here's the Human Resources report for the month of September. We held a successful flu shot clinic last week, sponsored by Care Here Clinic. Recruitment activities have been ongoing for various positions and departments throughout the city. We completed and filed our annual fall compliance items to include the Tennessee military audit for Title VI and the federal Medicare D enrollment disclosure notification to all employees. And we're putting on our creative thinking caps to create a virtual employee health, safety, and wellness segment to include elements of our annual HR compliance boot camp. Since we're not able to convene as we normally do every year, we're going to do something a little different. So be on the lookout. I can truly say that HR has been well-versed and noted when it comes to the Wellness Fair project. And as far as compliance and safety in our city, it is our priority to ensure the continuance of great programming. We are also preparing for our employee open enrollments benefit meeting that will be held actually next month. And we're trying to also be mindful of our current situation due to the pandemic. Are there any questions?
Cheryl, can you talk to us a little bit about the performance reviews?
Yes, we had the opportunity to put in place our annual, a segment of our annual performance review process. All of our departments were engaged in reviewing current employee performance from January to June, and we did what we call a baseline. We reviewed all of the employees in most of the departments. Some of the departments are still needing to we're needing to look at them a little bit differently. However, it was a great opportunity for us to have one-on-one conversations with our employees to talk about how well they're doing, things that we would like to see as far as expectations and goals and improvement. So that way, when January 2021 gets here, we're going to do an annual review for 2020. So that way, that will be a milestone for the city, because we have not done performance reviews in the city. So again, we're excited about this. It's a great tool. It's a great development opportunity, and it's a great way to build that trust in collegial bonding.
And then we've got one other thing going on right now, which I know you're heavily involved with, but just for the board and for the public, but we're working on a police chief position.
We are. We're excited. We are in our initial stage of interviews, and it's going very, very well. We will conclude the initial portion this week, and then we will follow up with that process depending upon the outcome of the initial interviews. So we look forward to continuing that process. Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business. Ordinance 2020-14, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2019-2020 Parks Capital Project Fund budget. Motion to approve or deny?
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderman No. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Coates. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda passes. Moving on to new business. First reading ordinance 2020-15, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance by changing the official zoning map for tax map 14, parcel 50, consisting of approximately 15.4 acres located at 470 Dick Buchanan Street, from an I-3 special use industrial zoning district to an I-2 heavy industrial zoning district. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on August 25th, 2020. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor Brown. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Coates and Jones. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes. First reading ordinance 2020-16, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Our second.
Second.
Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. First reading passes. Resolution 2020-13, a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare property owned by the city to be surplus to the city's needs and directing disposal of the same. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a
Motion.
motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Vice Mayor Brown. Is that a second from Alderman Jones?
Second.
Thank you. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Resolution 2020-14, a resolution to authorize special military leave as provided in the City of Laverne Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Coates. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones. Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Resolution passes. Need a motion to approve the Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderman No. I will second. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Moving on to the appoint or remove committee members. We have one applicant for the open position for the Industrial Development Board. I will motion that we appoint Daniel Pazcheck to the board. Need a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman No. Alderman Coates?
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
I vote aye. First reading ordinance 2020-17, an ordinance to amend Title IX of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding transient vendors and door-to-door solicitation. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderman Jones. Need a second?
I second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. Alderman Coates?
Aye.
Alderman No?
Aye.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
I vote aye. First reading passes. First reading ordinance 2020-18, an ordinance to amend the impact fees in the city of Laverne. I will make a motion that we go ahead and defer this to next month. We are still waiting on some verbiage to be received to adopt this appropriately. Is there a second?
I second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to mayor and alderman comments. Alderman Jones.
Just asking everybody to be safe out there. It's starting to get a little cool. The heater's coming on. We've got to be cognizant of our the lint and everything that's inside of your pipes. So everybody needs to be careful, and look forward to seeing everybody out at the Old Timers Day Parade and at the library this Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Alderman Coates.
I'll reiterate, there's a lot of activities here in the city this month, and look forward to meeting everybody out there.
Thank you, sir. Alderman No.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I wanted to say thanks to David and Parks Department. They did a fabulous job putting new metal on the senior center building and cleaning it up, and the center will be opening tomorrow at 10 a.m. till 2 for the next 2 days. It looks amazing. I cannot thank David and his guys from the Park and Rec and Maintenance. Old Timers Day, we won't be back until after that. So the senior center will be set up. They'll be selling hamburgers, hot dogs, and their world famous banana pudding. And also, for any people listening at home or watching, we're going to have a silent auction. We've got 2 hoods from NASCAR that we're going to be auctioning off. We're going to have some really nice bicycles, some cornhole boards, and some other stuff, a fire pit, some things. So make sure you come by. Also, I want to tell the people at home, if after the parade on Old Timers Day, stop by and see me. I'll have a tent set up if you want to talk to me. Thanks.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Well, there's so much going on. You have no reason to sit at home and be bored this month or for the rest of the year, really, because we have a lot of good family fun available right here in Laverne, and it's done in a safe way. So I'm looking forward to all of the events that we have planned, and I hope that I will see you there. I'm so honored about the Freest City Award that we received tonight. That was such an honor, and I think it really speaks highly of our city at all levels. Every employee contributes to us being able to keep that bottom line low. We have a lot of employees that really help us with that, and I want to thank them. It would not be possible without their help, so I thank you so much for that. And I want to thank this board also for their contributions to help us keep this the freest city in the state of Tennessee. That's very exciting. I also want to remind everyone it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is October, the whole month long. So if you haven't already and you're a female, please go get your mammograms. It's very important. I won't stay on that very much because I don't want to make all of my male coworkers upset or uncomfortable, but please take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Brown. Yes, October is going to be a busy month, and we absolutely want to see you out. Make sure you're keeping yourself safe throughout this whole event that we've got scheduled for October, whether it's trick-or-treating, goblins and goodies, the zombie walk, the Old Timers Festival. There's lots of opportunities to get out, interact. I know over the last year, things have been close quarters all across the world, and so we want to encourage you, don't despair, to get out, engage, do it in a safe manner. check on your neighbors, check on your friends, and get that community engagement going again. Do it, again, in a safe way. Now, the next time we meet, this board could look drastically different. We don't know. Elections happen. They happen every 2 years. We see it. The city will keep moving forward regardless. Going to channel my inner Mike Walker here, but for all public servants, public service is what we render. It's the rent for what we pay to live here on earth. And so please remember that. One thing I want to encourage everyone to remember as well, regardless of whether you're looking at federal, state, local elections, is Philippians 4:16, where it says, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. So remember that, have faith, and let's keep everything moving forward. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.